From Tipton via West Bromwich to here in Wolverhampton, to Molyneux to be precise. That's the career path of Steve Bull, where he broke every record going and scored over 300 goals, and of course he played for England. Hard to believe he's just turned 50, but he has. This week on the Midlands Sporting Scrapbook, my guest is Steve Bull, MBE.
I do, to be fair. It was the Lost City, it was called. The reason it was called the Lost City was because once you got a path in there, that was the only way in and the only way out, and they called it the Lost City. And down-to-earth people, proper people, if you know what I mean. And I was touching what I was brought up in the right way by my mum and dad.
Enjoy your childhood?
Oh, absolutely brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. You know, I mean, my mum and dad. I mean, it's they worked. They worked tirelessly to give me my first pair of boots, which was something like a Puma King, something like that it was, and that was absolutely unbelievable. I couldn't believe I got a pair of boots from Tipton, and no, it was a great area, and the place I lived in, South Road in Lost City, was absolutely brilliant, mate.
Do you ever go back there and have a look around for nostalgic reasons?
I do sometimes. I go in my car, but I'm frightened to go through there because the wheels will be off and the windscreen wipers will be gone and everything. But no, it's a lovely place. But I do go down there now. It's changed a lot since I actually lived there, because opposite my house there was a car park where my mum used to park the car. Every time she went out, I used to get the ball out and smack the ball against the car park wall. I'm thinking, oh, that's it. When she come back, I had to put the ball back. But that's it. It's just them silly little things like that that I did when I was younger.
So it was a hard surface you learned to play on. It didn't have the luxury of grass.
Not at all. We had Jubilee Park, which was about a mile down the road, which you had to leg it to and go after school with your school clothes on and your shoes and everything, and get a clip around the ear when you come back saying why you got them dirty and what's happening here and whatever. But no, it was mainly against either the car park wall or against the neighbour's wall, which knocked all the pictures off the wall. It was one of them. So.
Your Steve's been out here again, they were saying.
That's all it was. I kept knocking on the door and saying, can you get your... This is the way they talk. They said, can you get your baby off our side of our wall? He keeps knocking the things off the wall. I'm going, well, it's only a ball. It's one of them, like so. Yeah. And that was it.
How soon did you realise that maybe you got a talent kicking the ball around?
I didn't, to be fair. I was a very lucky person. Very, very lucky person. I mean, even when you're younger, you always want to be that the idol. You want to be like the Wayne Rooney's, the David Beckhams. You always want to be one like that. And I think the kids today look up to people like that. I think I want to be like that, and I never had a figure hero like that at all until I was about 15, 16, 17, when I thought Ian Rush come on the scene. Liverpool would be in the best side in European Cup games or whatever, and I was on telly. I thought, I want to be like him. But we all have the dream, but I didn't realise the dream would come true.
And did you even at that early stage, you wanted to be a striker? Goals was what you were about.
I was very, very selfish. You wouldn't believe it. At school, they'd rather put me in goal because I wouldn't pass the ball. And I thought, I don't want to go in goal. I want to get on the ball. I want to score. I want to shoot all the time. And it was just one of them things. I just there you go. Give me that ball. That's going in the net, and I'm going to put it there. And that was it. And I didn't realise I was going to do what I did, and it come good.
Well, those early days at school, you were in the school team pretty well straight away, were you?
Yeah, I was. I was in the school team. As I said, like there, I'm going to contradict myself. They wanted to put me in goal because I wouldn't pass the ball to anybody. Very selfish player, but it paid off. Being selfish. Sometimes, and I keep telling my daughter now, I say, it's not just you. It's about everybody. And I never thought like that. I was single track minded. That's what I'm going to do, and that's what I ended up doing.
Was there a game, even if it was sort of a game at school where you won 7-0 and you got 6 of them type of thing?
That was all the time. Because as soon as the keeper got, I went, get over the top. I'll get onto it. I'll score, and it's exactly the same what I did him. Okay, so it's a long progressive thing the way it went on. But I think my schoolmates hated me because, like you say, I wouldn't pass the ball to him, and that was it. But we had some good games, and I scored most of the goals.
How soon did you get a wider audience then? Were you picked for other teams around and about?
Yeah, it was a local club called Tipton Town. I played for a scout from the Albion, Sid Day. He more or less saw me on his Sunday morning playing for the Red Lion, and he says, come and play for us at Tipton. I was only 14 at the time, and these were like 21s, 25s, 28s. He thought, go on, get him in there. And it was like throwing a little fish in a big pond. I thought, what am I doing here? But that brought me up in a way to build my body up, the elbows, and get up there and header and put myself about, and made me strong in a way.
I was going to say, I would imagine that some of them looked at you and thought, oh, good, we'll get him on the floor in a minute or so.
That's what it was, because I was only like this when I was on as a youngster. I thought, but I was quick on the ground. I was 10 yards, I was gone. 10 yards, I was gone. I couldn't beat anybody in the air at all. at all. But on the floor, I could turn them all day long.
I see you keep making that gesture with your elbow.
Yeah, it's now. It's just to get up in the air and you know, stretch yourself. You know, and I was never ever a dirty player. You know, I never left my foot, and I never intended to go out there and hurt anybody or whatever. Yeah, it might have been clumsy or whatever, or fall or tread on them or whatever. It was very, very clumsy. But I always say, you do this, but it's like jump in the air, head the ball on. You know, what I mean, not nastily.
Because you were not a 6 foot plus striker, were you?
No, weren't you? I mean, I'm just under 5'11", and you know, I think it was. I'm similar to Don Goodman with the same height, but we could hold ourselves in the air quite a lot. You know, as soon as you jump, you can hold yourself for a split second, flip the ball on, get back down, and off you go.
So you got into the Tipton Town team, and I presume made a name for yourself very early on, did you?
Yeah, I did. To be fair, you know, I was in the reserves to start with, and I was scoring goals for fun on a Tuesday night and a Saturday morning. And Sid said to me, he says, "Well, they want you for the first team now. They want you for the first team. Go on the bench." I went, "Well, I'd rather play a full game in the reserves rather than be on the bench in the first." And he said, "Well, you got to get experience. You got to learn." And I went, "Okay, then no was at all." So I was still playing the reserve games and going on the bench for the first team. And but it brought me on leaps and bounds.
So you couldn't wait to leave school. Would that be a fair?
Yeah. I wasn't a very educated person. You know, I did all the CSE, GCSE. What I did the job that I had to do. You know, that was all it was. Get on there, get me results. Off I go. There you go. And you know, I mean, I never ended up with a computer job or engineering or plastering, whatever. I was there in a builder's yard. You know, a bed factory. I did my time of working.
Did you enjoy that, knowing that at the end of the day or the end of the week you're going to be playing football?
Yeah. You put things to one side. You know, I mean, it's like having a holiday. You know, I mean, you say you got 5 weeks to go for your holiday. It's one of them. You know, you got one day. You're playing Saturday. You're playing Sunday. I couldn't wait to get out there because I'm an energetic person. I just wanted to play football, and that was just me inside myself. How
quickly then did you get the opportunity to go to West Brom?
Yeah, it was. I think I was at Tipton Town for about 12 months, and Sid Day, who was a scout for the Albion, knew Nobby Stiles and Johnny Giles, and he says, "I've got this young lad down the road. He's very, very raw, immature. He's working 13 hours a day. You get him off his work, and he'll do your job." And that was it. And Sid had a word to Nobby, and Nobby rang me up and says, "Come and train with us on a Tuesday and Thursday with the under-14s." I think in under-14s, I'm like 19. Why do I want to play with the kids? But they taught me a lesson. To be fair, they actually taught me because they were like whippersnappers all over the place and whatever, but it brought me on going to do that, because you have to lower yourself sometimes to get where you want to go.
So how long did you play with the under-14s then before they suddenly thought, maybe there's more to this man than we thought?
It was a 3-month trial. I had with the under-14s, and I was playing the intermediates for the Albion on a Saturday morning and training Tuesday and Thursday nights. And they thought, oh, they must have thought I got something there. You know, natural goal scorer, I got something here, and then they just offered me a contract. They offered me a 12-month contract. I thought, my job, security or Albion, and I just took the gamble and went to Albion.
Do you mind me asking, how much did you get paid then?
Then, oh geez, at work I was on about £27.50 a week at work. You won't believe. It was in an agency where they take your wages, they give you the money back, and that's it. And then Albion offered me £100 a week, and I thought, I've got to take it. It's like double your money. I thought, take it. You know what I mean? It's absolutely brilliant.
What was it like when, you know, you suddenly thought, right, I've only gone so far, but I have made it, I've got a professional contract, I'm going to play football. What was your feeling at that?
I never had any feeling, to be fair. I just thought to myself, because I'm a realistic person, you know. I mean, you never chase the big dream that you ain't going to get. You know, I just thought, I've got a contract, I'm gonna do what I can. I never realised I was going to play for Wolves in England. You never know at the time. You think I'm a lad from Tipton who's hardly got nothing, and I've got a chance here. And I just grasped it with both hands. I thought, just have a go at it. It just snowballed. My career just snowballed ever since.
Did you not have enough belief in yourself, do you think?
It's not belief. I think it's just pinching yourself and saying, am I here? Is it me? What's going on? I didn't know what to say to myself, to say, well, knock me head against the wall, say, am I actually playing for Albion against Chelsea in the Cup or Leicester or Ipswich or whatever, thinking, is it me? And it never to this day has actually sunk in to say what I've done or what's going on.
What was it like then? I mean, John Giles had a terrific career at club and international level. And
Yeah.
Nobby Stiles played in the England team that won the World Cup.
They were absolutely brilliant, and people say to me, who are your mentors or the people you look up to? And I mean, Nobby Stiles is one of my good friends, and he took me on board, and I couldn't get me out on. I thought, well, Nobby Stiles 66, 20 years. I thought, these are world class players. They used to be world class players, and that took a gamble on me. And I mean, it was short lived, because I think after about 12 months I actually left, and then a man called Ron Saunders came in after that, and then that was it. Then the apple cart flew over, and he sold me.
Is it fair to say you and he didn't necessarily get on all that well?
No, I was young and immature. I was just happy to be playing football. That's all I wanted to do, play football. I didn't care whether I was on the bench, I don't know, coming on a sub, whether I was on the pitch full time. It never had non-argument ever at all, or a mishap with any manager I've played with since all through my career.
But I say he did move you on. When he called you in and said, "Oh, Wolves want to buy you," what was your first reaction?
Well, I didn't know, to be fair, because Andy Thompson went in first, and I laughed at Tom and I said, "Tom, you're off, you're going. It's after I scored 2 goals against Ipswich." He went, no, I ain't going nowhere. He walked up to the office, and 2 minutes later, said, "Bully, once you went, oh, he's going to give me a pay rise here. He's going to give me a pay rise." I scored 2 in, lost 4-2, I scored 2 goals. Yeah, I went in, and I just stood there, and he looked at me and just said, "Oh, it's Stu, says, how you find it?" I went, "It's okay, to be fair. Gaffy, it's okay, to be fair." He says, I'm absolutely loving it, relishing. I scored 2 the other night. I'm there you go. He says, he says, only somebody's coming for you. And I went, "What do you mean, somebody's coming for me?" I said, "I scored 2 goals. I'm in the first team. You've got Garth Cooks, Tim Overhardy, George Riley. They're on big money, and I've just come in and on pittance, and I'm scoring goals." And he went, well, he says, "Well, you haven't got a first touch for this division." And I went, "Are you sure?" And I was like a deflated balloon. I went, and I went, "Well, what do I do then?" He went, "Well, Wolves want to buy you and Tomo down the road. They want to see you today." I went, "But I want to play here. I want to play." I more or less pleaded with them, say, "I want to play here because you've given me a chance. We're nearly top of Division 1, which is the Premiership now, and Wolves are 4th from bottom, Division 4. And I thought, I want to stop here." And he was more or less saying, go and see what they've got to say. And me and Tomo just went down the road and just saw Graham Turner and fell in love with him.
I'm trying to imagine what the conversation was like when you drove from there to here.
Well, if you hear Tomo and me talking together, you won't understand the word we said to each other, to be fair, because we all wobble, gold, whatever we talk, it's all over the place. But no, he was a young and up-and-coming star, Tomo was. He just broke in the first team as well, and I got in as well. I thought, why? He got some young talent here, not being big-headed. I thought we could do a job for you, and you could have got rid of some of them top stars, saved the money, and we could have gone on happy-go-lucky, but it never happened. And we just spoke to each other and said, let's see what they say, see what Graham Turner says, we'll decide when we get there, and that's it.
And was the deal between you, if you go, I'll go, if you don't, I won't?
It weren't, no, to be fair, it weren't. It was like just see what they say, and when we actually come to the ground, we looked at it and thought, what a state this is. I thought Tipton was bad, and this was honestly, it was a right mess, and that stand over there was a mile away. This one was nearly run down. The South Bank was like concrete all the way. That was derelict, and we just looked at it. What can he sell to us here? What can he sell to us? And we just went in there, mate, and we stood outside his office. Soaking wet water because the tiles are all leaking. There's cockroaches everywhere. And who goes in first? Tom goes in first. It's small people. He went in. I'm going in first. 3 minutes later, he comes in and says, I've signed for like so money. I went, oh, all right, then, okay. And I was left me in no doubt. I got to see what he says. So I just walked in, and Graham Turner was there on this oval table, and he got this big gold a model of the stadium. It's going to be in 10 years' time, which now it's 30 years' time. It's gone. And I just looked at her, and he put this over to me saying, listen, we'll guarantee you football week in, week out. We'll guarantee you. We'll give you this and whatever. And I just looked and went, God, all I want to do is play football. And he just said, sign the contract. There it is. And within 4 minutes, I come out, and me and Tom shook hands, and then flew back up the M5, got our boots, and says, cheers, lads. See you again. And that was it.
And as a youngster, I mean, you said that in your later teens, you had Mighty and Rush. Were you not a particular fan of a team then, as you were growing up?
People say to me, I've got a throstle on me a tattoo on me back or on my leg or whatever. And I've never been an Albion fan in my life, never at all. I love Midland sides, I love all Midland sides, because I think that we're always put down. The Midland sides are always put down compared to the northern sides. and the London sides, we'll always put down. So I always say all Midlands should stick together. So I've got no hatred in Villa, Blues, Wolves, Albion, nothing at all. I absolutely love the Midlands. It's just one of them things.
But you came to love this place big time, didn't you?
Yeah, it was. I think the first few games, I think the fans were a bit sceptic of me, thinking, he's come from down the road. You got to give him some stick and whatever. And I think once my first goal went in, that was it. And my recollection of actually getting him on my side was when we actually played the Albion. When we went down to the Albion and we beat them 2-1 away, and all our fans, I think the Smethwick end behind the great green fencing. And I scored in the last minute, and that was it then. Stevie Ball, that was it, and all the songs kept coming out, and I thought, these are part of me and I'm part of them.
So you'd found your spiritual home, really, hadn't you?
Oh, it was unbelievable, and to this day now, you can walk down the street, or we can go to the Caribbean, and somebody knows, all right, Bully, how you doing? All right, Steve, how you doing? And it's absolutely brilliant, and I love it between the fans and myself. I absolutely love it.
In those very early days, Wolves played Chorley in the Cup. You and Andy Thompson sat in the stand and watched it. Chorley in non-league side, and Wolves were beaten. Did you turn to each other and say, what are we doing?
We did, to be fair. 1, 2, 3, I thought, where are these? These are like 40 leagues below the sea. These are Chorley. I think we should beat these easy. And we lost, and we looked at each other and we just went, what have we done? What have we done? Because you've got Albion up there, Wolves here, he's going ready to go into liquidation. What have we done? And then we just got our boots on next day, trained, got the game over with, and got this. And we're on a run here. Finished 19th. Season after we went up again. I thought we've made the right decision.
How much of this was down to Graham Turner tonight?
Obviously, he's absolutely superb, Graham. He's a good friend of mine now, and I never, like I said, I never had a bad word to say against him, never at all. If he's the manager, he's got a right to say what he does and what he doesn't. If we're in the wrong, he pays the wages to do it. But as a manager, he's absolutely brilliant. His time was superb, and to say, if it weren't for Graham, I don't think the club would have started here now. Because of the players he brought in at the time.
How difficult is it? Because people tend to see, that, oh yes, manager's been sacked, someone else has come in. What's it like when you're actually playing for these guys?
It all depends how they come across. I think managers have their own different styles, different tactics, different ways of talking to you. There's some good managers, some spoilt ones, some think they know best and whatever. It's a team thing. I think Graham Turner grabbed that with both of his hands to say, this is my team. We're all together. If you go down, I go down. If I go down, you go down. And that's why he put it around to the team.
Of course, as you say, the ground was rebuilt to how it is as we know it today. And of course, that was Sir Jack Hayward, wasn't it? Do you remember the first time you met him? Yeah, I
can't remember the first time I met him, but he's presented me with trophies in front of the old South Bank, and so I shook his hands and whatever. And from day one, we just clicked. He was a local lad, and he talked the way I talked, and and he was absolutely top man. And as you say, if it weren't for people like Graham Turner and Sir Jack Hayward, this wouldn't be here now. This would be a car park for Asda or a car park for Morrison's or whatever you think it would be. It wouldn't be here. But fair play to them too. They picked this club up, and Graham Turner got it right on the field. Sir Jack got it right on the stand.
Of course, they sometimes say with managers, that they go so far that they reach a plateau, they can't take a team any further. Do you think that was the case with Graham Turner?
Yeah, I do, to be fair. I think once all the, no disrespect to all the money players who came in, I think they shout above the rooftops bigger than the major does, and they make decisions rather than the major does. And they fall out with them, and you get a bad apple in the basket, and then you get 2, then 3, then 4, then 5. And Graham Turner come to the end and says, well, this is it. I've done my job to this club now. I'll go a bit lower and pick these up. It's a bit like Mick McCarthy, if you know what I mean. He'll take them so far, then he'll go back again and pick another one up and take it so far and continue going so far. And they're good at what they do.
What were you like in the dressing room then?
What can I say? I can't really say. All my old colleagues will probably say I was worse than what I was, but we was all jokers. I think the changing room was full of people who enjoyed themselves in the changing room, talked about what they did the night before, talked about the day before and whatever. But the best thing about our squad was, as soon as you come out that tunnel there, was all as one, and we wanted to win that game, and that was it. The smiling went, seriousness, there you go, bang, back in the change room, smiling again, back to normal.
Because you've got to be of a certain mental attitude, haven't you? Because if not, in a dressing room, you would sink or swim, wouldn't you?
You would, to be fair. With the pranks and everything that goes on in the change room is absolutely unbelievable, and it's weird when you speak to the old players and say, remember this, and then he recalls me mind again. Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember cutting the socks off, putting DPT here, and doing this, and putting the heating on the radiator so they're sweating, and it's just silly little things that they do in the change room. But you've got to have that. You've got to have that because you're too serious. Once you get out there, you're serious, and you've got to give it your all.
What was the best prank you pulled then on anybody?
What can I say? It weren't the best prank. You know what I mean? It's there's some cheeky ones, some naughty ones, and some laughable ones. I can't say what I did, to be fair, but there's one that Digger Barnes used to be our left back, and we was losing 3-0 at half time, and Digger had put this black tape in his teeth like this. When he smiled, he's like got no teeth. And Graham Turner's given us the biggest rollicking you've ever seen in your life, throwing cups and everything, whatever, you waste of space and everything like that. And Digger Barnes just looked like this tall us and smiled, and we all started laughing. Graham Turner stormed out, slammed the door, said, I want to see every one of you out there now. Give me 100%. I want some goals in that net. I don't want to talk to you again to the end of the game. And that was it. But the pranks, like, that was what he did. I couldn't get me out on. It was all in stitches. I thought, we're losing 3-0.
What was the final score? Do you remember?
I can't remember. I think it was 3-2 or something like that. We didn't disgrace ourselves. I know that we daren't. But but Graham Turner, he was a very, very good manager. Very good.
Because managers all have their own way of dealing with players, don't they? They, I'm sure, and particularly all the more so nowadays, that they look at a player and they evaluate them. I mean, I know, for instance, here at Kenny Jackett, before he signs anybody, he takes them and shows them around the museum.
Yeah.
They've got to appreciate that this is why Wolves is where it is, and that's why people look upon the club the way they do.
Yeah, I think it is, and I think the youngsters of today are coming to this club now and thinking, hold on, this has got potential. This is a Premier League club, and I mean, don't forget your roots. That's what it is. Don't forget where this club came from, who got you there, and where it is now. And you're the up-and-coming future who's going to take this forward. So, in a way, Kenny's doing it the right way to say, that's where it started, this is where it's going to finish, and you're going to finish it.
306 goals, which was the record. You beat John Richards, didn't you, when you got that total? Do you think it was that anybody else in the team ever begrudged the fact that you got all the headlines?
No, I don't think so, because it was like I said at the start, it's a team game, and they didn't mind who scored. As long as we won, that's all that mattered. You know what I mean? Whether it was Muchie as the provider, whether it's Thomas scoring a penalty, Ali Robertson setting up the back, you know what I mean, Floyd Street, Mark Kendall, Keith Downey, we was all as a unit, and that's all it was, you know what I mean? There's no jealousy, nothing there at all. It was out there, 100%, and there you go.
Do you ever lose your cool in the dressing room?
Well, we all lose our cool now and again if nothing's happening or whatever, you know, in one-on-one heated situations. But it was very, very rare, very, very rare. I've been in the change room 16 years, and I've only seen 2 heated conversations between a player and a manager, and not myself, a player and a manager. I've gone, okay, fair play. I mean, he was standing up for his own ground or whatever. He did wrong. He held his hand up, but the manager didn't like it, so. It was one of them, but no, I just got my head down and say, if Bully ain't chasing the lines, I'll do it second half. Yeah, okay, no worries, because I'm out there to do a job, and if I ain't doing it right, I want somebody to tell me.
Because when people are critical and say, oh, what a game he's having, you know, the players don't do it deliberately, do they? I mean, there are just days when it doesn't matter if you're out there for 3 hours, it still wouldn't work.
It doesn't matter, it's like a golfer, you know, I mean, you can get out there and hit 300 balls down the driving range straight as you go on the proper pitch, and all of a sudden you're shanking them left and right. It's the same out there, you know what I mean? You put the blinkers on when you get out there. There's your aim, your ambition to go and score goals. You got to go out there. You know, I mean, we all have off days. You know what I mean? I think I had an off day against Bolton, I think it was, in the playoff in 1994. And that was booing me. The fans were booing me. It's the first time in my career. I thought, what they booing me for? I said about 10 chances. I didn't score. I thought, we all have off days. We can't score. We can't perform 100%. And players don't go out there. I know, to this day, I can say to you, I'm hand on hard, no player goes out there and don't give 100%. It's just on the day. If you're not ready, physically, mentally, you're not going to do it. Who
did you enjoy tussling with most? Which opposition, when you saw that fixture was coming, you thought, great, he's in the team? I've got one at the back of my mind.
Well, you know straight away, didn't you? Mr. Steve Walsh from Leicester. We used to stand in the tunnel, me and Walsh, and look at each other, and steam coming out of our ears and our nose, and look at us and go, is it your turn to get sent off or is it mine? And we just used to start in the tunnel, and that was it then. Pull his shirt, pull my shorts, elbow me, punch me, whatever, headbutt me. We used to just do everything on the pitch to try and do what we can to stop each other doing what we did. But it was it was all harmless. It weren't out there to say go and chop his leg in half or whatever. It was like go and stop him scoring, whether it was hard tackle coming from behind me, put me in the air, bounce back up, get back up again. I tripped him up, I elbowed him, whatever. It was just natural, normal banter that you do on a pitch. And when we come off the pitch, I'd have a black eye, he'd have a dead leg. We'd be in the players' lounge, have a can of lager saying, "Oh, you got me today, didn't look at that, look at this." And that's the way it was, you know what I mean? Nowadays, you can't even do that. You can't even, it's all courts and all this, and I'm going to fine you, I'm going to fine them. Just let them get on with it and sort it out themselves.
How did that start then, that particular episode?
I don't know. I think he's probably as strong-hearted and strong-willed as I was, you know what I mean? Because whoever's in front of me and in front of that goal, I wanted to get him out the way to score. And he was the same, to say, I'm going to stop whoever's coming in front of me to score goals. So I think it was the same mental attitude that he had to say, I'm stopping him, but I'm going to score goals.
I remember once just down here behind us where he got sent off. And it was one of these, you were sort of backing into each other.
Yeah.
And I know you sort of backed in, and he just came and you went down, and that was it. I mean, I think he'd already got a yellow.
Yeah.
And he went off, and I remember because I was actually down here on the touchline, and I remember the look you gave him and the look he gave you, and I'm thinking, well, they seem quite happy about it in their own way.
He weren't. He was like he was growling it through his teeth to say, "Look, you got me this time, you little
naughty boy
thing, yeah, you naughty boy." But no, it was just one of the things. I mean, I think the one time he got sent off here was I think the ball was going over the top. And I turned and he was in front of me and I just clipped his heels, but the ref didn't see it. He clipped his heels, fell over. I went on to get the ball. He run behind me and head butted the back of my head and right in front of the ref. And he went, "Off you go." And cheers, Walshy. You're off again, man. 9 men. 10 men, sorry. I thought, there you go. And it was just one of them. You wind players up. That's all it is. It's nothing malicious about what we did out there. It was just harmless fun, whatever it was.
And did you find, I mean, as Wolves progressed and were more successful and you scored more goals, were people coming looking for you?
In what way?
Well, on the pitch.
Oh, on the pitch.
Stop him.
Yeah, that's it. Me and Muchie was the deadly duo. That's what it was. Me and Muchie were the deadly duo at the time. There's Argano and Dean for Sheffield United, Bull and Much Wolves at the time, and thought, well, we want to outstage these. And me and Muchie, we worked very, very tirelessly together. I knew where he was. He knew where I was on the field. You know what I mean? I think the only thing between Muchie that we didn't relate to each other was we couldn't understand a word we said to each other. Because he was from Liverpool, I was from Tipton. I was going, Muchie, get number 5. He's going, calm down. I didn't know what he was saying, what he was going on, but we got on like a house on fire. It was absolutely unbelievable. And when we clicked, like I say, it didn't matter who scored the goals. He's a provider. I scored, I provided, he scored. It was a team thing, and me and him just absolutely clicked from day one.
Did you need people to come to you and say, do you know on Saturday it'll be your 50th and it'll be your 100th, or did you know?
Not at all. To this day, it's like winning the lottery. If I'd have said to you, I'm going to the Albion and then going to Wolves and score 300 goals, I'd have laughed at you in the face. You know what I mean? Because it's just one of the things that happen. And if I would have knew, then I'd have put a bet on. It's like Rory McIlroy, he's going to win so many Masters. You know what I mean? You take the gamble. If somebody knows you've got the potential to do it. But I didn't know at the time. I didn't know at all, mate. I still don't to this day.
I mean, it's not as flippant as it might sound, but did it matter to you?
No, it didn't, because I was getting paid. I was getting paid some half the. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. I thought, and every time I scored, I went, "That's another £100. That's another £100." Because I was on a goal bonus or whatever it was from my boot sponsors. I'm going, "That's another goal. That's another money." And I weren't motivated by money. I weren't motivated by it at all.
When you first got picked for England, 89, wasn't it?
Yep.
How did you learn about it? I've always wondered how you first hear about a first cap.
Well, I think I was in Albania or somewhere with Dave Sexton in the under-21s as an overage player, and I trained a couple of days there, and I went to bed at night time. There was a knock on my door at 8 o'clock at night, and Dave Sexton was there. He went, "All right, Steve," he says, the first team, Bobby Robson, they're playing at Hampden Park in Scotland, and he wants you to go down there. I went, "Oh," I said, "Well, I'm here. I'm playing here tomorrow night." He says, "No," he says, "He wants you to go now. He wants you there for training in the morning." I went, "Are you sure?" He went, "Yeah." He says, "Pack my stuff up, bang, there you go." Got to Troon golf course, and I thought, "What am I doing here? What am I doing?" I didn't know what I'd got. I opened the door. There's golf clubs, there's trainers, there's tracksuits. I thought, "Come to Daddy." I thought, "I never had as much of this stuff in my life." I thought, "What's going on here?" I thought, "I banged them on eBay." No, I didn't. I just thought, yes. And I got up next day and I got on the bus and I was on with the likes of Lineker, Beardsley, Gascoigne, Waddle, Butcher, Shilton. I'm thinking, is this right? Am I on the same bus as these? I ain't got a gentleman down the road said, I got a first touch so many years ago and I'm playing for England. Who's got it wrong? And I thought, and I just couldn't believe it. I just couldn't believe it. And actually going on and playing, I thought, well, look at this, 86,000 people, 86,000. There's 80,000 jobs, 6,000 England fans, and I think 3,000 England fans are Wolves fans. So I think they heard the night before that I've been pulled back from the 21s to go and play there, and there's 3,000 Wolves fans in the corner with the England fans. With let the bull loose, Bully's going to get you. I think it was Saints and Greavesy at the time that was pointing it out, saying let Bully loose, let the bull loose. And I thought that come to see me. And when I actually got on there, mate, I looked at it. I thought it was like a big arena, it was like Gladiator. I thought, what am I doing here? I was like shrunk within myself, and I thought, no, you're big as this. It's picked you for a reason. That's where you go. And I got on there, mate, and I just enjoyed it absolutely. 10 minutes in the first half, and the whole second half. Though there you go. And when I scored on my debut. Oh, that was like the ice on the cake, and I rang my mum. You won't believe it. I rang my mum after the game. This is the silly story I did probably put, and she's there in the front room. She's got a bowl in front of her, and she's scraping these Jersey mints, these potatoes, like scraping the skin off the potatoes. And she says, Steve, he says, when you scored that goal, I jumped in the air. Says, the taters went everywhere. And I couldn't get me. I told him, Mum, I'll call you back later. I was like that.
That's a lovely story. Absolutely lovely. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, debut goal, and you played 13 times for England, scored 4 goals.
Yeah.
When you first joined up with the squad, you've just mentioned the players who were in there. How were they with you? Because you were what was in the old 3rd division still, weren't you, with Wolves?
We'd just come out of the 3rd division.
Now League One.
Yeah.
And I mean, I cannot imagine now anybody getting picked for England who plays in League One.
I can't see it now. I can't see it at all. And I always say you pick players on merit or what they're doing at the club. I don't care which league you're in. If they're goal scorer, they'll score goals. And it's just one of them things. I think, well, if they're doing the job there, give them the chance. It's one of them things. But when I first went, I thought, who's he? Who's this lad? He's from Wolves, 3rd division. I didn't know what was going on. And the first one I clicked onto was Platty. And then there was Digger Barnes. Digger Barnes is a nice bloke as well. Well, they was all good lads. And I found that the more I played with them, the better my first touch was as well. Because the ball's coming to me 10 yards, bouncing off me 10 yards. It's 5 yards, 3 yards, 1 yard. And I was getting more sharper on my feet. No disrespect to what we was doing here. Yeah. It was the class of players I was playing with. I was getting better and stronger as I was going on.
I don't mean it rudely, but I mean, do you think one or two of them looked down their nose a bit at you, or did they?
I don't think they looked down their nose at me. I mean, I don't know how they'd look at me, to be fair. I mean, I think first of all, like you say, they probably couldn't understand me or what I said to start with, and then after that thought, he's all right. He's a half decent lad.
They'd know the name because they'd see all the papers and all the goals you'd scored.
Yeah, they'd know the name and know what I did or whatever. But I mean, from a 3rd division to a 1st division is a massive gap. And they were more skillful and more talented than I was. All I could do was score goals. And I was a down-to-earth lad. I go in the squad. I got me head down, did my job, and they took me on board.
So there was nobody in the squad who spoke your language then?
Not at all. Absolutely not at all. Not at all. I think the closest one was probably Desi Walker from Forest, but he's just down the road, and that's still down to all like I do now. Anyway.
Yeah. But what about Bobby Robson? How was he?
I was a great manager, absolutely. God forbid, he was absolutely brilliant, mate. Absolutely spot on. Great manager. Him and Don Howe together was a great combination. A massive, brilliant combination. I mean, Don Howe was the tactician and whatever. Bobby Robson knew how to talk to players, put the arm around them, speak to them, or they shout to him, or talk to him, and whatever. And he got his decisions right, and the pair of them together, that was absolutely a brilliant combination.
So when you first got there, I mean, did Bobby come up and say, Steve, come here, and sat down and had a chat with you?
No, all he said to me was before he even went on the pitch. He went, he just said to me, he says, "You know why I've picked you, lad?" I went, "No." He says, "Well, because you're scoring goals for your club, and all I want you to do now is do the same as what you did for your club for this country. Don't change yourself. Be as who you are and what you're doing for your club." And I went, "Okay, Gaffer knows it all," and that's all I did.
I mean, birth of children apart is probably the best moment of your life, scoring that first goal, wasn't it?
Oh, it was unbelievable, and all the lads here, because I think the gaffer said to me, he said that Graham Turney says, right, I'm taking the lads away to, I don't know, Santa Ponza or something like that, whatever, for a week. He said, but you can't go because you're going to under 21s. I went, oh, all right then, okay, no worries at all. And then I'll come back from there and then got the call for the first team. That was all in the airport, all the lads were in the airport. and they was coming back on the day that Scotland played, I think it was, and they was watching the game on the airport looking like this, and I can't tell you what Tomo said. Tomo said, I can't believe he actually scored. He's on there, he scored. And I was all in the airport jumping up and down. They says, and I missed on a week's holiday for the lads to play for England. Which,
but of course, that's the camaraderie, isn't it, that you get in football?
That's what it is, mate, and you can't beat it. I think to this day now, you know what I mean, and when we have these former dinners and with old players and young players, and it's still carrying on because you need it in the dressing room, you need it, but as soon as you get out there, that's when you put the blinkers on, you be serious.
So that goal for England against Scotland then was better than the first goal you scored as a professional, was it?
Oh, all day long, because you've got the whole world, everybody looking at you, especially the 3,000 Wolves fans who travel up there to watch me. I went, that's for you. I thought that's brilliant, and they went home happy, and because I think loads of my mates say to me this day, this is when they go to Wembley, and when I played at Wembley or at Hampden Park, all the other fans, all the Londoners, whatever, going, who's this bully? Who is he? What's he doing? Whatever. And then all my mates turn around and says, that's bully for you there, score that goal.
The thing is, of course, that when you're a goal scorer as prolific as you were, you are like the quarterback in American football, aren't you? You are the star player.
Yeah, but like I said before, I don't take it as being one man makes a team. I don't say that at all. People say it was with me because I scored the goals, but who provided the goals? Who stopped the goals? Who prevented crosses? It's a team game, you know what I mean? And whoever scored it, I might get the accolation now or whatever, but it's a team game. Anybody talks to me and everyone's like, oh, you remember that goal? I said, do you remember who set it up? Remember we had a penalty before and who saved it? That's what I say, because it's a team game.
It's interesting now with goals, isn't it? Because you actually see lists in newspapers of players who provided assists.
That's what it is, and
which they didn't do when you were playing.
That's what it should be. It should be, because it is a team game. I know at the end of the day they go, oh, scored Bull 2, Much 1, Dennison 1. It ain't about that. It's about the whole team competitiveness and everybody sticking together. And that's why I think we succeeded more in the late 80s, early 90s, because we had a great team spirit. So
changes of manager, you say players, it's part of the game, you've just got to get used to it and all the rest of it. Are dressing rooms, when they know who's coming in, is there somebody who goes, oh, he used to be my boss, that's me out, or I've heard he's like this or like that? They must be like that.
Yeah, they do. I think the first thing on your mind is my job safe. That's what you think, because when managers come in, you think, are they going to change the personnel, the out staff, the coaching? Whoever's about that, they think, oh, I want a fresh blood, bring it back in, you get out. And I think what we all did was thought, well, Graham Turner's gone, who's coming in next? Okay, then there you go, we'll do our job, we'll carry on doing it for ourselves. That's what we did. But the manager who actually came in wanted to manage this club because they love the club.
But just say, do you think that the managers who were here in your time were a good fit for the club?
I think so. You look at Graham Turner to start with. He was an absolute rock. He got this to where it started. He started it off, and there you go. You got Graham Taylor. He was an England manager. He came here as well. He progressed the academy. So whatever. Mark McGee, Colin Lee. That was a great combination together, and Mick Hickman as well. And then you got Kenny Jackett now. It's unbelievable. And I know we've had Dean Saunders and the ones before. We've had them all, and you're thinking, well, they tried to come and change it. They can't. This is a traditional club, and I think the managers they've had through the past, there's only 2 or 3 of them that haven't fitted what the Wolves need. Because
you must sit there as a former player and think very early on, this isn't going to work.
Well, you do, don't you? Because you're not allowed to say it now because you have to bite your lip. It's the same as the performances. I have to bite my lip on the concourse when I'm going, move, run, quick, get there. I'm like that. But it's the same as managers. They come in and try and change things. Sometimes it's for the best, sometimes it's not. And it's their way of doing it. You have your way of doing it. We have people doing their way of doing it, and it's a damn hard job to do. A manager's job is a damn hard job to do, and as I say, fingers crossed now they've got the right man to do it now.
You got 52 goals in one season. I can't see anybody ever doing that again, can you?
52, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? 52, and it was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. I think I missed more than I scored, to be fair. I think I had about 8 or 10 chances a game, and I was only putting 1 or 2 away. But when you think about it, 50 goals in a season. There's only like the likes of Ronaldo or Messi are going to get that now. There's not many players going to do that now, and it's an achievement that I do look back and think, hold on, I did actually do it.
Because the confidence is obviously the factor there, isn't it? That you're scoring goals, and you must then feel every time the ball comes to you, it's going to go in the net.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's like the Spandau Ballet's on goals. I call it goals. You know, it's goals. Always believing goals. You know, I mean, every time I went out there, I thought, give me the ball, give me the ball. I'm red hot at the moment, and I weren't being big-headed. I thought, give me the ball. I'm going to score again today. And like you said earlier on, there's certain teams that you go, I'm going to get a hat-trick today. I want to get 2. I want to get 1. I'm going to get 3. But then some days you go out there, you try your hardest, and nothing happens. So it swings and roundabouts.
How many tricks did you score in your career?
I think it was 18. 18 overall. You know what I mean? I think I've had loads more chances to get hat-tricks before, but they never come off. But 18, you know, I mean, I've given most of the balls away as well. You know, I mean, I think the last one I give away, you won't believe, not name dropping, I give it to Robert Plant for his 60th birthday. He's got one in his pub down Wolverhampton somewhere now, so he's got that one. And I mean, I just one of them. Have a ball, have a sign ball, have a sign ball. There you go.
And you got 4, didn't you, at Newcastle on a New Year's Day?
Yeah. I couldn't believe that. To be fair, that was absolutely unbelievable because the night before, I can say now, the night before, we had all our pasta and did all our potatoes and all that, got all carbs in our body and whatever. And come 8 o'clock, the gaffer said to us, listen, aren't you in bed by 12:05? Wish the women Happy New Year, 12 o'clock, and get to bed. Aren't you in bed 12:05? That's it, bang. And he walked away, and 10 yards away, turned around, looked under his eyebrows. He went, by the way, you can have a couple of halves. And we went, couple of halves? Well, I was halves of beer, okay, just a couple, that's all. 12 o'clock, and there was me, Tomo, Cookie, Muchie, Stowley, out of our tree. Who was out of our tree? We had like about 14 halves between us. And I'm on the phone to the missus going, I love you, I do. Sorry. I got the and I put the phone, he says, have you been drinking? I went, no, I've got a big game tomorrow. Put the phone down. And we went to bed. This was 12:05. Me and Tom was all staggering over and gone next morning, bleary-eyed, smelling. I think, oh no, the gaffer can't, we can't do this. We can't do this. The gaffer is giving 3,000 fans coming up what we're doing. And we just got out there and went, come on, we've done it now. It's a mistake. We've done it. We've had a few halves last night. Let's get out there and perform if we can. Got out there first half, as you say. They got Mark McGee, Mickey Quinn up front, and Buddige in goal. We got 3,000 fans down the one end, dressed as snowmen, with antlers, and I mean, they've got absolutely everything
they
dressed
up. There,
up.
didn't they?
They flew up there. 3,000 flew up there, and the Monarch Airlines, absolutely unbelievable. I thought we looked at ourselves. And thought, what did we do last night? Why? They've travelled up all this way to see us, and we did that last night. But touch wood, he paid back. You know, I mean, I think Mark McGee missed a sitter in the first half, and we went in 0-0. Thought, if we win this, if we draw this 0-0 now, I'm going to get drunk every Friday night. That's what I thought to myself. But I thought, no, we did it once and that was it. And the second half, it just went out and it just clicked. And it went bang, 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 bang. Within 20 minutes, 4 up, and I scored all 4. I thought to myself, geez, how can you get nearly drunk the night before and score 4 goals? But it just clicked, and that was it. And I think to this day now, I do think the gaffer knew that we had a few drinks the night before, and he was just crossing his fingers to say, let's get the result.
I'd be fairly sure he did. You didn't actually fly up there, did you, as a team?
No, we didn't. We hadn't got no money in them days. We had to go up in Hills coaches, and you know, that was lovely coaches. But it took us about 6 hours to get there, because we had to stop halfway up there because of the time scale on the driver. But you know, I mean, we felt very jealous of all the supporters who went up there. But I'm glad we give them something to say thanks for coming up there.
I'm sure you've lost count of how many times you've been asked this question, but do you regret that you never played at the top level?
Not really. What I always say is, what is the top level in football? And top level in football is playing for your country. I always say there's a lot of Premiership players out there, or Division 1 players, who would never play for the country. So I always say top flight football to me is England, and I've done it. You know, another Premiership has gone past me, and I'd never played there, but I would love to have had the chance. But I was happy where I was. I'm still happy now where I am now.
Were there offers for you, do you know, to have gone and played?
I think there was 4 teams I could have gone to. I think Torino in Italy, when I come back from the World Cup in Italy in 1990, they came in for me. What was the other one? Villa didn't come in for me. Villa did not come in for me. A lot of Villa fans will say, why did not come in? I'll tell you a true story about Dougie Ellis, by the way. When we went to the World Cup, he was on the Tranmere chairman's boat, and me, Gaza, Chris Woods and Lineker swam out to this boat, and we got on this boat and said, how you doing, Mr. Ellis? How you doing, Mr. Ellis? Whatever. And before we got off the boat, he just patted me and he says, I'm going to come in for you, bully. He said, because he liked the McAnallys, the Atkinsons, he liked the big old-fashioned centre forwards. I thought I could do a job there. And, I mean, 9 years later, I met him at a dinner here. He was on the top table. And I actually went to him. Everybody cleared off the table. He was sitting there and went, oh, Mr. Hayes, how you doing? I says, yeah, how you doing, Stevie? I said, fine. Can you answer me one question? I says, he says, what's that, man? I went, why didn't you come in for me? When he said you're going to come in for me in 1990, he went, I don't know. And I went, I've waited 9 years for you to say you don't know. I says, because I might have seriously been tempted because it was only up the road.
You've just had a milestone birthday, haven't you? Can you? I can't believe it.
Thanks.
Can you believe that?
Thanks.
You just turned 50.
50? You ain't supposed to say it on camera, are you? 50.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. I mean, I can't believe it now. Like we said earlier on, reminiscing, you could shut your eyes and picture the ground 20, 30 some odd years ago, and you're thinking I was part of that, and thinking, and then you open it now and you see, yeah, it's just the way time goes. And 50, I never thought I'd have reached 50. Never mind 40, but I'm still here and still keep going.
We started this conversation about how this young lad from this housing estate in Tipton played for England, achieved all the things he wanted to but never thought he would. So how did you feel when the letter came saying that you were being offered an MBE?
That was funny, to be fair, because I thought, an MBE? I thought, what is it? I didn't know what it was, an MBE. I thought, what is an MBE? And I looked it up on the computer. I thought, oh, crikey, I've got to go and go to the Palace. And I thought, geez, I've got the Palace. I don't think I've ever been to London in my life until I picked my MBE up. I thought, where is it? And I got the letter come through off, I think it was it John Major at the time who send you a letter and they say, whatever you do, you're going to receive the MBE off the Queen, and whatever you do, you can't tell nobody for 3 months. If you do tell anybody in 3 months, it could be took off you before you even got it. And that was what the letter comes through. I thought, because when you got something, you want to tell somebody and you think, whatever you do, don't tell anybody, but it's always there and it's always there. And I didn't, I kept it a secret. Then I got the letter come through saying, yeah, you're formally going to an MBE off the Queen, be here on this day, at this time, and that was it. And yeah, I mean, it was absolutely unbelievable day, and the place itself is frightening. And to this day, I still pinch down. She just said to me, the Queen, she called me, they called you up, and then she just looked at me and she just, about 18 seconds it was, and she says, oh, you played football, didn't you? Score? Oh, yeah, loads of goals, especially against the Albion and so and whatever, and like this. And she said, oh, you charitable work as well? Oh, yeah, I've got Promised Dreams, raised loads of money for serious examiners. Well done, keep up the good work. Put the medal on me, it's just buried, and that was it. 18 seconds, it was gone, and it was an unbelievable day, unbelievable.
18 seconds that most people will never have.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's the same as the Premiership. You know, I mean, it's top flight football, England or Premiership. You know, I mean, I'll take England all day long on the Premiership. You know, I mean, and MBE. Well, it's a very, very nice honour, and I mean, I'm pleased they're giving me.
Steve, it's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much.
That's any time at all.